Hello and welcome. I'm Sherry Dawn, and in today's class, we will be working on backs. So, yoga for backs. We'll be working from the tailbone to the base of the cranium. Now, we'll be doing some basic exercises that will incorporate the hips, the low back, the shoulders. All of this affects our backs. So when we have tight hips, then the pelvis is kind of pulled forward. That gives backaches. With the tight hamstrings, same thing occurs. The pelvis can pull back and give tight hamstrings. So in today's practice, the only props that we'll be needing for your yoga for backs is a couple of blocks and a blanket. So thank you for joining me, and please join me on your mat. So let's roll on forward, slide those hands down the legs. Drop that head down and take a couple of real long, deep, slow breaths right here in a nice relaxed position. Feel the body, back body expand on the inhalation. Feel the ribs separate. Feel the feet firmly planted into the earth. Feel the belly press against the thighs on the inhalation. Exhale, feel the weight lower and be supported by the legs. 2 more breaths like this. Allow that low back to gently stretch for the last final breath. On the inhale, gently tuck the tailbone. Roll up slowly, 1 vertebra at a time, and lengthen through the spine, sitting up directly on those sits bones, those ischial tuberosities. Press the legs out away from each other. Let the legs drop out and draw the soles of the feet together in a nice, comfortable Buddha Konasana, bound angle. Bring the hands to the knees. Keep the eyes closed. Big, long, deep breath here. Feel the spine lengthen, crown of the head reaching to the sky. Exhale, be sure to tuck that tailbone to the earth. Draw the navel to the spine. A few more long, deep breaths, nice, quiet mind. If you so choose to do so, and then honor yourself for arriving on your mat. Take 1 more long, deep, slow breath, lengthening the crown of the head to the sky, tucking the tailbone towards the earth. Use the hands and slide them to the outsides of the knees and draw the knees back up. Set the feet back to the earth and heel toe the feet out just a little bit wider than the sits bones. Reach those arms up and out in front of you. Drop those shoulders down. Balance that head. Exhale, moving only at the hips, hinging forward, and then allow that spine to round forward as we reach those arms out as far as we can get them.
Stretch through that back body, shoulders snugging up towards the ears, squeezing the tension out of those shoulders. Keep reaching those fingertips towards me and slowly lower that head down. Allow that head to drop between those arms. Round through that spine. Inhale, tuck the tailbone. Press through the feet, roll up and lengthen the spine back to the sky. As that spine unfurls, those shoulders can drop back down towards the pelvis, neck reaching long, long deep breath. And again, acting at the hips first, hinge forward, reach forward, roll forward. Reach those arms out towards me. Keep reaching those arms out. Now gently drop that head down between those biceps. Keep reaching those arms out. Long deep breath. Tuck the tailbone, roll up one vertebra at a time, lengthening the crown of the head to the sky. As the spine lengthens, the shoulders drop back down into the back. Keeping those shoulder blades pulled together here. Long spine, 2 more of those. Exhale, roll forward, reach forward. As the spine rounds, the shoulder blades draw up to the ears, reaching away from the pelvis. Then the head drops down between the arms. Tuck the tailbone, roll it up on the inhalation. Lengthen through the spine, and then drop those shoulders down and draw them back together a little bit in the back. 1 more. Exhale, hinge forward, roll forward, reach forward, shoulders rise up, squeeze through the ears, drop the head. Inhale, tuck the tailbone, roll up. Lengthen through the spine and drop those shoulders down. Release the arms down to the ears. Roll those shoulders a couple times. No, ma'am, those isometric contractions will really heat that body up. Yes, ma'am. So, tuck that tailbone ever slightly towards the earth. Slide those hands up to the backs of the knees. Exhale. Roll back off those sits bones just a little bit. Point that right toe, lifting just the heel from the earth. Just 1 foot. So the left foot is still on the earth. Now we're going to straighten that right leg. And then bend it, and straighten it, and bend it. The spine is still long. The only action occurring is quadriceps engaged to straighten that knee and down. The spine stays long, the core stays strong. The stronger that core is, the more it supports that low back. Last one. Set it down, set that heel down. Roll forward, let those hips have a rest. Inhale, roll it back up. Lengthen through the spine. Hug those hamstrings. Tip back off those sits bones just a little bit to engage through that core. Pull that left heel from the earth. So now we're pointing the toe. Straighten that left knee. Long leg. Bend and straighten. Body is still being stabilized through the hips. The core is strong, the spine is long. Last one. Set that heel down, roll it forward. Thighs nice and warm. Inhale, roll it up. Hook both those hamstrings and lean back just a little bit. Lift both the heels, point both of the toes. Float both of the feet up either just a little bit or straighten the knees. Yogi's choice, wherever you're at. And both legs, bend and straighten. Slowly floating those feet back down to the earth. Huh?
This will help I call it my COVID belly, you know, that you gave me so much.
Uh-huh. Core up a little bit there, Kathy. Core up. Pubic bone. There you go. Shoulders down. Spine long. Last one. Set those feet down and roll it forward. Long, deep breath. Inhale, roll it back up. And let's go ahead and take this blanket and fold it up or roll it up. And then flex both of your ankles and set that blanket right on those ankles. So the toes are pulling towards there you go, towards the knees. And the blanket is sitting right down on those ankles. Hook those hamstrings. Sit back just a little bit. If you need to, you can drop the hands to the earth to help stabilize the upper body, or hold those hamstrings. Kick that blanket up just a little and drop it down. Load it up a little bit, drop it down. So now let's all bring our hands to the earth and see if that stabilizes us better. So the fingers are facing forward, the elbows are bent, the heart is open, the body is leaning back, supported by those hands. Straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. No movement through the upper body. The only thing moving is straightening those quadriceps and bending. Yeah, that. Last one. And set those feet down. Roll forward. Push that blanket off to the side. Woo! See? Blanket's weighing up. That's all we need to work out. Just a little blanket. Inhale, roll it up. Roll those shoulders a couple of times. Roll those shoulders back. Good. Yeah, that bolster was a little bit too much weight for you to be working like that. Yeah, I'm glad you got a blanket because now we're going into the arms. So we're going to need you to pull that mat away from the wall a little bit so that we can reach those arms overhead. So we're going to open those arms up first. Yeah, get your sets in there. Awesome, Sue. Exhale, give yourselves a hug. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, hug yourself on the other side. Woo-wee. Inhale, open it up. Release those hands down to the hamstrings and slowly lower the body down one vertebra at a time. Make sure we have this blanket set over the top of our head. So let me turn around to see what I'm doing here. There's someone down. There we go. So, the body is on the mat. The arms are up overhead, resting on top of the blanket. Reach those toes out, point those toes, give a nice long body stretch here. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale, let's bring the hands over the head, bend the knees, place the feet on the mat. Exhale, let's roll that low back into the earth and engage through the core gently. On the next exhale, let's pick that head up 1 inch from the earth. Hover the head over the ears. Long deep breath. Maybe gazing between the knees gently. Low back gently pressing to the earth. Tips of the shoulder blades connected to the mat. Inhale, roll that head back down. 2 more of those. Exhale, imprint, pressing that low back to the earth. Pick that head up gently, gaze between the knees. Palms are still on the earth. Long deep breath. Inhale, roll it down. Exhale, press that low back into the earth. Pick the head up. Gaze to the right. Gaze to the left. Hover that left ear. Gaze to the right. Back and forth a few times. Keep the breath flowing. Nice, strong front neck muscles to help support that heavy head. Last head roll. Gaze up. Release the head to the earth. Gently press the low back to the earth and press the head into the earth, engaging through those back neck muscles. Keep that core gently engaged, low back pressing to the earth. Now reach those hands up over the top of the head. Palms facing up, thumbs facing each other, and gently draw those shoulder blades back down towards the top of the pelvis. Engage through the core, press the low back to the earth. Pick the backs of the hands up off that blanket and hover the backs of the hands over that blanket. Keep plugging those arms into the shoulders. Core is strong. Breath is long. And release the backs of the hands back to the earth. And again, exhale, press that low back into the earth, engage to the core. Pick those hands up off the earth and hover those hands over the top of the blanket. Breathe. 3 long, deep, slow breaths. And release. 1 more. Exhale, press that low back gently into the earth. Draw those shoulder blades down towards the pelvis and pick those hands up from the back, from the blanket. Inhale, let's slide those hands out in line with those shoulders. Keep hovering the backs of the hands off the earth. Keep drawing those arms together at the sternum. Turn the thumbs down and the palms towards the earth. Keep the palms hovering over the earth. And now draw those hands down next to the hips, floating them gently over the earth like a hovercraft. And release those arms down. Long deep breath. Exhale, press that low back into the earth once again. Let those hands float up from the earth, hover them over the earth in line with the shoulders. Open those arms up out to the sides just a little bit, and then turn the thumb back up towards the crown of the head. Keep reaching those arms up, 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 and overhead. Now plug the shoulders back into the back. And let's slide those hands underneath that blanket. Exhale. Press that low back to the earth. Pick the head up from the earth just a little bit. Now pick those hands up. Hold that blanket off the earth for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the head to the earth. Keep hovering the hands for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the backs of the hands and the blanket to the earth. Keep plugging those shoulders into the back. 1 more. Exhale. Engage through the core. Press the back to the earth. Pick the hands up. Lift that blanket just barely over the earth. Hover for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pick the head up. Hover the head over the earth for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the head. Release the hands. Slide those hands out from underneath the blanket and give yourself a hug. Inhale, open the arms up. Exhale, hug. Other side. Crossing the arms, opposite side. Inhale, open those arms up. And let's draw the right hand up and roll over to the left side. Bring the palms together. If you need to bring that blanket under the head, just slide that blanket down from over the head and place the head right up on top of that blanket. Bring those hands out in front of you. Knees right in front of you, ankles under the knees. Inhale, open up, reaching that right hand back to the sky. Gaze to the ceiling with that hand. Now release that right hand back and behind you without allowing those knees to come unglued. Try to keep that right hip right on top of the left. Core is gently engaged. Gaze back to that right hand. Feel this nice stretch and rotation through that middle back, through that thoracic area. Still working into the back. Long deep breath. Exhale. Let's draw that right hand back up. Circle it around and place it back on top of the left hand. And with your breath, a few ranges of motion like this. Inhale, open those arms up. Exhale, drop back up and over, closing those hands together. 3 more. Inhale, open it up. Reach it out, rotate, exhale. Unwind and close back up. 1 more on this side. All righty, draw those arms into the body, roll it over onto the right side. Let's do that same action. Left arm on top. So stack those knees, really pinch those knees together, stack those hips. Inhale, reach that left arm up, gaze to the sky with it. Set the spine long. This is where we check our alignment. And then release that left hand back and behind you. Feel that stretch, feel that rotation. Nice opening through the vertebra and the heart. Exhale, close it up. And begin your range of motion. 4 more. Inhale, opening up. Moving nice and slow. Getting the best out of each and every opening. Stretching through the heart and the pecs. Rotating through the vertebra. And keeping the core nice and strong. Knees together. Last one. Draw those arms in and gently press back up and find yourself back in a seated position. Ooh-wee.
You hear all those cracks?
Chiropractics are free in
I
yoga.
always have to double check.
No charge for the chiropractor. I love that rotation. That just, it opens me up. That and doing it through the lower body as well. So we're going to get into the hamstrings now, but we're going to use that body weight. So let's bend that right leg and push that right leg out to the side, and then bring the sole of the foot into the calf or the knee. It's okay to put the foot on the knee in this position because we are not bearing weight through that extended leg. So we're not going to create any tension laterally in that knee. That's why we don't do that in standing, the lateral tension. So lengthen through that spine once again and pull those left toes towards the nose. Exhale, walk those hands towards that left leg. Keep that spine long, shoulders down, head nice and balanced. So the more that sternum starts to face that knee, the more the face can face the knee. Let's avoid dropping the head or looking up too much. Keeping a nice balance there. Now actively try to press that bent knee towards the earth a little more. And try to press that straight knee towards the earth a little more. Re-lengthen through the spine. Exhale, walk the hands out, maybe one little bitty baby step, but keep the heart open. Shoulders back and down at balance. The point of this asana, this shape, is to elongate through the back of the leg, one at a time, while opening through that other hip. That helps to balance the pelvis just a little bit, evening the pull through the rotators and the extensors in the back body. One more breath, inhale, lengthen the spine, reach the crown of the head out and away from the hips. Exhale, come in just as much as you can, creating tension in the back of that extended leg. Take the foot if you can. Try to avoid any rounding through that spine. Again, lengthening. One more breath. Press through that extended leg's knee. Press through that bent leg thigh. Roll up one vertebra at a time. Take that knee up. Send it out to the earth. Then the opposite knee. Drop it out to the side and reconnect those legs again. Set the spine long. Exhale, only hinging at the hips. Use the hands to support the body weight as much as you need. Try to stay active in the lower body. Try to draw those toes towards the nose of the extended leg. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, re-engage through those knees. Exhale, lengthen. Woo-wee. Got some tight hamstrings on this leg. Breathe into it and keep trying to activate. One more breath. Smile. Hard to smile when we're stretching our hamstrings, I know. Just envision how good it's going to feel when we come up. Inhale, roll it up. Ah, yes. Stand both those legs out. Give them a couple of little bounces, a couple of little rolls here. Make sure there's a little bit of space between those legs. Pull those toes back. Now we're going to fold over both legs.
Are these considered seated working folds? Really?
Yes, ma'am, you got it. Woohoo! Don't ask me the Sanskrit name, I can't tell you. Long deep breath. One more, lengthening. Reach through the crown of the head. Exhale. Drop in just a little bit further. And walk that body right back up. All right, bend those knees. Let the hands help the knees if they need. Grab that blanket and those blocks. Let's roll them through into all fours. So here in all fours, we go ahead and rock back and forth nice and gentle. When I can cue you to do something, your body might not do it. So modify, honor your boundaries, test your limits. Last, rock back and forth here. Yeah, the door has to be open a little bit because the cooler is on.
That's okay, that's okay.
Alrighty, so we're going to reach that right leg back and behind us, keeping the knees straight, curl the toes into the mat. Long deep breath here. Now we're going to reach that right foot off the earth and hold that right leg up. Feel that femur plugging in to that hip socket. One more breath here. Set that knee down. Step the other foot out. The toes touch the earth. The leg lengthens. This is where we press that leg as straight as we can and then lift it up. Plug that femur into the hip. Now gently draw that pubic bone towards the navel and lengthen through that low back. Try not to let this tweak the pelvis. Keep the pelvis nice and neutral. And set that knee down. Let's go ahead and access our blocks now. Bringing the body up on the second level of the blocks. So bringing the upper body up a little bit makes space for that knee to draw in towards the chest. So it does reduce how much we can kick that leg back and up behind us because then it tries to kick that low back in. So what we're going to do is, again, reach that right leg straight back and behind you, but set the toes to the earth. Now exhale, bring that knee to the nose and point the toes. Inhale, reach that leg back and behind you. Keep a nice neutral pelvis. If the toes need to connect to the earth, do. Exhale, knee to nose, point the toes. One more, reach that leg straight out. Try to keep that core engaged. Exhale, knee to nose, and now step that right foot right between the hands. Whoop, swing it around however you need to get it in there. But having the butt, if you need to, when we start doing that again and you know you need to bring that knee through, maybe bring the body up a little bit higher to step it through. So that is a little bit of help to get the body moving. So wiggle that right foot forward a little bit. So it kind of straightens out that knee a little bit. Now we're going to shift the weight forward just enough to bring that knee right over the top of the ankle. And then shift back. Shift the weight forward, bring that knee right over the top of the ankle. Shift the weight back. Last one, shift the weight forward, stack that knee right over the ankle. Now with those left toes, they're curled into the mat, and we're going to scooch that left knee back a little bit. Now we're going to work that right foot forward a little bit and bring that knee right back over the top of that ankle. So those left toes are still on the earth. We should start feeling this in the front of the left thigh. Walk those blocks forward and keep moving. Right foot forward, left knee back a little at a time until you can come to your most comfortable quad stretch on that left leg. We want to keep that right knee right over the top of the ankle or behind the ankle. So that's why we're moving the body in this way to open those hips up and stretch through that front left quad. Now with tight hip flexors, it brings the pelvis forward and can pull on that low back. Same thing with tight hamstrings. Everything brings that pelvis down and pulls on that low back. So we want to open up those quadriceps to help open up those hips and be gentle with our low back. Now let's start working our way back gently. Either lifting that left knee and walking it forward or walking that right leg back. And come back off the knees a little bit if you need to kick the knees out, take weight out of them. Extend them out a little back and forth, walk them. Whatever makes those knees feel better and takes the weight off of them for a few moments. And we're going to work with that left leg now. So right back in all fours. Step that left leg back and behind you. The toes are curled into the earth as to keep too much extension from happening in this low back. Exhale, left knee to the nose, round through. Inhale, reach it back, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, reach your nose. Couple more, just juicing up that joint a little bit. We're bringing some synovial fluid into these joints with a little bit of range of motion. Right before we start to stretch through, exhale. Step that left foot in between and start doing your little walk. Inching that right knee back, left knee forward, left foot forward, dropping in as much as you can to stretch into that front right quadricep while still protecting that knee. And I heard one of my favorite instructors in California made a comment, a cue that I absolutely loved. And she said, do not sacrifice the joint for the length of the muscle. Right. Do not go too far. Don't sacrifice your joints for your muscles. Muscles heal a lot easier than joints do. So I was like, that is an awesome saying. I hadn't thought about that in that manner before. Long deep breath there. And gently and slowly working your way back. Get to all fours, work it out of those knees however you need. Either flexion, extension, or kicking them out left and right. And then drop it on down into a child's pose if you can, if that feels okay. Inhale, gently float it on up. And we're going to come into a forearm plank, but we're going to do it in a manner that's easier on the back. And then we're going to engage into this low forearm plank to strengthen the core, which supports the back. So we're going to bring the blocks in line with the thighs. And then we're going to come down with the thighs on the blocks. And we're going to be on our forearms here. Curl those toes into the mat. So your arms might be longer than my arms. And if so, you're going to want to bring the blocks up to a higher level. Only 2 levels is all we'll use on these. But I have shorter forearms. So I'm supported just fine right here. So with the toes curled into the mat, the palms flat, bring those elbows right underneath the shoulders. Exhale, press through the palms, press through the toes, and lift the hips up just a little bit and float those thighs over the tops of those blocks. You might want to come to the mat where your toes have something to grip into, Kathy, like your mat. The floor's better for you.
This is my squishy, slippy mat.
Oh, okay, all right.
She's betraying me to use my, yeah.
There you go. All right, and hover, and then drop it down. So just hold for a few breaths. Exhale. Lift those thighs from the blocks. Find your low plank. Long deep breath. And lower it down. Practice about 3 to 5 of these on your own, in your own time, your own tempo. Floating up into low plank. Core is strong. Shoulders are strong. Spine is long and breath is flowing. More. And then walk yourself back off these blocks. Remove the blocks, kick the legs off to one side, and bring them right back around in front of us.
My mat would have been stretching while I was doing that. When I
Okay.
first started, the floor was so cold that it would cause pain. So that's why I have to. She calls this a squishy, slippery.
Yeah, that is a pretty squishy, slippery
It's
mat.
great waves.
Reach those arms out. Exhale, tuck that tailbone, lower the body down slowly. Hook those hamstrings, slide the hands down. Reach those arms up overhead, lengthen through the entire body, long deep breath. And find yourself a nice banana stretch here, walking the legs off to one side. Keep both sides of the pelvis connected to the earth. Clasp that outer wrist, arc the upper body over, and keep that shoulder blade connected to the earth. Inhale, find your neutral. Exhale, banana stretch the other side. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, bring those hands over the head, place the palms next to the hips. Bend the knees, place the feet on the mat. And bring that right ankle onto the left knee. Piriformis stretch. And go ahead and draw that left knee into the chest. Gently give that left leg a nice hug. Take Another few long, deep, slow breaths. And release this piriformis stretch, trade sides. That right ankle comes back down. The left ankle comes up to the right knee. Draw that right knee into the chest gently. Give it a hug.
That's a hamstring stretch. That's a real, I feel that hammer, man. Woo.
This is one of the very best stretches that we can do for our low backs and the hips. Well, low back and hip, yeah. And release. Go ahead and let your body wiggle itself on into Shavasana. Slide those legs out along the earth. Long deep breath. Let's find 2 moments. Touch back on your intention set for same class. And breathe into it. Slowly and gently bring the mind and the body back to the outer world. Wiggling fingers and toes and moving through wrists and ankles. Gently roll over and make your way into a side lying position for a breath or 2. And then gently press up into an easy seated position. Draw the palms together at the heart center. Thank yourself for arriving on your mat and giving this time to your body, mind, breath, and spirit. I thank you for allowing me to guide your practice. May we be at peace. May our hearts remain open. May we be healed. May we be a source of healing for other beings. And may we awaken to the light of our own true nature. Take this healing with you until we meet again. Namaste.
Namaste.
Much love, Sue. Thank you.